coming down that assembly line is like the food that we're eating, okay? Now, there's workers on that assembly line, right? Those workers are like the vitamins and minerals in our bodies. They're the ones actually doing the work. They're the ones putting the tires on the cars, the seats in the cars, the dashboards in the cars. That assembly line's working pretty efficiently. But what if you pulled half of those workers off of that assembly line? It would be working 50% of capacity, right? So what happens if we're not getting optimal nutrition? Is our cellular assembly line working as efficiently as it should? Now that was a question. If we're not getting all that nutrition that we need from our diet, is that assembly line working as efficiently as it could? Absolutely not. Right? So what we want to do is maximize our cellular assembly lines. So let's walk through this just a little bit. I talked about vitamin C and how that hamburger was only providing 10% of that vitamin C that we need every single day. But what has been shown time and time again is that when you take additional amounts of vitamin C, you can achieve additional health benefits. But when we're talking about the RDAs, and that's the nutrition that we're striving for, all we're trying to do is prevent diseases of nutritional deficiency. What's the disease of vitamin C deficiency? Scurvy, the disease of pirates, right? So I'll ask you, do you just want to keep from getting scurvy, or would you like to achieve those additional health benefits? It's been illustrated time and time again in the scientific literature. If you take additional vitamin C, not only will you not get scurvy, but you'll feel better. Vitamin C has been implicated and shown to be involved in energy metabolism. If you take additional vitamin C, it's been shown to have cardiovascular health benefits. And we're not even talking about the antioxidant properties of vitamin C. So I'll ask you rhetorically now, where do you want to live in this continuum? Do you want to live in the red? I hope everyone's saying no. Do you want to live in the yellow? I hope everybody's saying no. Or do you want to live in the green, right? That's optimal nutrition. So what's a great source of vitamin C from our diet? An orange, perfect. So if we eat an orange to get our vitamin C, does that vitamin C stay in our bloodstream forever? No. Eventually that level is going to decline. Our bodies are going to consume it and utilize it for that biochemistry that we need. And it's also going to excrete it. So by about 8 or 12 hours after we've taken that orange in, the vitamin C levels are going to be back to where you started. Right? So where do you want to be in that continuum? You want to be in that optimal green zone. You want to maximize that assembly line. You want to maximize that cellular assembly line. So, what happens? We should be reaching for those fruits and vegetables, right? Those are the so-called micronutrient foods. But the scientific literature tells us that we're not reaching for those fruits and vegetables. We're reaching for those hamburgers. And this is the result. We're in the midst of an obesity epidemic. We're reaching for food that's nutrient poor and energy dense. And as a result, we're becoming overweight. This is even trickling down to our children, right? We're in the midst of an obesity epidemic. Now our children are suffering from obesity. What's going to happen? What's going to be the burden on the healthcare system when this generation gets older? Do you think they're maximizing that cellular assembly line? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But why do we do this? Why do we do this? And it's because our brains crave excitement, right? Roller coasters are fun because we crave excitement. So when we're faced with food choices, what are we reaching for? If you're honest with yourself, would you rather really have that chocolate cake, or would you rather have those fruits and vegetables? No, you just said fruits. Are you kidding me? I mean, if I didn't know what I knew, I would reach for that chocolate cake every single time. And don't fool yourself. Those 4 little bits of raspberry on that cake don't count as a serving of fruits and vegetables. Right? Well, luckily, and hopefully what I want to convey to you, is you can't reach for that chocolate cake and expect optimal health outcomes. All right? We need to stop reaching for these unhealthy foods. Right? What we should be striving for is this: healthy us, healthy friends, healthy family, and especially the people that are watching us the most closely. Let's be role models for our children. Let's defeat this childhood obesity epidemic. And don't fool yourselves, they are watching. So, I'll ask you again rhetorically, where do you want to be on that continuum of nutrition? Not the red, not the yellow, you want to be in the green, absolutely. You want to maximize that cellular assembly line. So I heard it earlier, what are we composed of? What are the building blocks of our bodies? Cells, right? Healthy cells equal healthy us. So we need to do everything we can to support cellular health. And what's the way to do that? Through nutrition, right? Think of that factory line. Nutrition is the most important thing you can do to help support those healthy cells. Who here has children? Yeah, a few hands. Do kids do stupid stuff? I can't tell you the number of bones I've broken, the number of stitches I've had, etc. Right? But let's walk through a little thought experiment here. If a kid's riding a skateboard and he skins his knee, is that knee going to heal? Right? Of course it is. You don't see my broken bones, right? They've healed. Is it fair to say the skin's an organ? Yeah. In fact, the skin is the largest organ in our bodies. Right? But it's such a foreign concept to us that what's happening in the skin is also happening inside of our bodies. Now here's a little statistic to help prove my point. I hope nobody in here is a smoker, and if you are, you should be quitting. Okay? It's the worst thing you can do for your health. All right? Soon to be taken over by obesity. Number 1 cause of preventable disease is smoking, followed by obesity, and that's going to overcome smoking here very soon. So if you're a smoker and you quit smoking today, your risk of developing lung cancer goes down by 80% in 1 year. 80% in 1 year if you quit today. Why does that happen? Because our bodies are replacing the unhealthy, damaged cells with healthy cells. So let's keep using the skin as a little thought experiment here. Who here's been horribly sunburned in their lives? And I'm sure most hands are going to go up. I've been horribly sunburned. But what happens? First you get really red, painful, and it hurts. And if it's too bad, what happens? You peel. Right? Have you ever thought about what's going on when your skin peels? Well, our cells have this amazing built-in mechanism inside of every single cell. Our cells can sense when they are damaged. So when we're exposed to the sunlight, that UV radiation has enough energy to get inside of our cells and chop our DNA up into little bits. Now, if that damage is minor, our cells have this amazing capacity to repair itself. But there are also proofreading mechanisms inside of our cell that can determine whether or not that damage is too great. And if the damage is too great, our cells will undergo what's known as apoptosis, which is a fancy scientific word to say we'll commit cellular suicide. So the cells that have been irreparably damaged will kill themselves with the hope they won't pass on any potential carcinogenic event, right? Mutation in the DNA. They will commit cellular suicide. And that's exactly what's happening when your skin peels after a sunburn. Those skin cells have committed cellular suicide. But what happens after that? You get a new layer of skin cells that come out. You might lose your tan a little bit, but your skin's basically as good as new, right? Again, that's on the skin.